First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth. Salutations to the brothers around the four corners of the earth who are teaching this word in truth and sincerity. And shalom to the helpful elect who listen and believe in this word. This is Brother Karat Sa'abad coming at you with another lesson. This one is entitled The Valley of Jehosophat, Payback for the Heathen Nations. As you can look on your screen here, this is a map, and we have the Valley of Jehosophat, which is located between Jerusalem and the Mount of Olives. The name Jehosophat means Yahweh has judged. This is where Yahweh will gather all the nations together in one place and do battle with them, with the chariots of Yahushua. And actually, he will, hopefully during this time, I believe that Babylon will be destroyed and the elect will be in the chariots at this time as well. And this will be the final battle. The nations will gather themselves together to try to form a coalition to go against the chariots of Yahweh. But actually, Yahweh's gathering them himself. Everything that goes on, whether it's the left or the right, is controlled by Yahweh. He controls everything. He's the great director. We're all just playing roles. We're all just part of a script. So actually, the nations are going to bleed if they're gathering themselves, but actually Yahweh is gathering them to judge them for what they've done to the apple of his eye, the Hebrew Israelites. So let's go to the first scripture. Let's go to Joel, the 3rd chapter, verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. This is talking about he's going to bring about the prosperity. He's going to bring Israel back into prominence. Let's read the NLT version of that. Translation comparison. This is Joel 3:1, the NLT. At the time of those events, says the Lord, when I restore the prosperity of Judah and Jerusalem. So he's going to put us back in the prominence to where we were. But this is the final battle. He has to gather all these nations to show them his real power. It's not going to be nice. Let's go to Joel, 3rd chapter, verse 2. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehosophat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. So like I said, he's going to bring all the nations together in the valley of Jehosophat and pleading with them, meaning he's going to, he's going to wreak havoc, on them for what they've done as far as his heritage Israel, the apple of his eye. And if what he means by that, the scattering, you have the Assyrians who took the northern tribes and put them in captivity. And today that's known as modern day Iraq. You had the Babylonians who took the other 3 tribes, the tribe of Judah, tribe of Levi, tribe of Benjamin. You have the Persians that came afterwards that were also responsible for scattering us and putting us in captivity. Then you have the Greeks. Then you have the Romans, who are the Edomites. And then you have, further down the line, you have modern Rome, the U.S., Spain, France, Great Britain, in the transatlantic slave trade. And, basically, you have the Moabites, Edomites, Israelites, and the Ammonites and the Hamites who participated in our scattering along with those other nations. So let's go to Joel 3 and verse 3. And they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for a harlot and sold a girl for wine that they may drink. So they took our people and sold our people in various ways. They sold, like it says here, giving a boy for a harlot and sold a girl for wine that they may drink. So they did, treacherous things to us. These nations did. And this is the payback. It's going to be in the valley of Jehosophat. Let's go to Joel 3, verse 4. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Sidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me, Swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your head. So that's going to be payback. Let's look at the NLT translation comparison of that. This is the NLT version of Joel 3, verse 4. What do you have against me, Tyre and Sidon, and you cities of Philistia? Are you trying to take revenge on me? If you are, then watch out. I will strike swiftly and pay you back for everything you have done. And in this verse, Tyre is Lebanon, and Zidon is a city in Lebanon, as far as the modern day. So let's go to Joel, 3rd chapter, verse 5. Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and ye have carried into your temples my goodly, pleasant things. This is referring to AD 70, okay? Or I should say 70 AD, excuse me, when the Romans drove the remaining Jews out of Judea, out of Jerusalem, okay? And what they did was they took all the gold, took all the jewelry, everything, the silver, and took it all and destroyed the temple. And so that's actually part of what they would call the diaspora. They took us and scattered us even further. So whoever was left there, as far as the Jews, you had Benjamin, Levi, and you had Judah, who were still there in Judea. They were driven out. They were driven into parts of Europe, parts of West Africa, parts of East Africa, and parts of South Africa. They were driven out. So let's go to Joel 3 and verse 6. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, which would be the Greeks, that ye might remove them far from their border. And of course, we were scattered in the area of Asia Minor, and that's where, when Paul came with his ministry in the Acts of the Apostles, we were known as Gentiles because we had took on a Hellenistic way of living. Okay, so we were living a Gentile way of life, but we really were the Jews or the Hebrew Israelites. So it's not when people say, "Oh, well, he came for the Gentiles, the heathens." It's not talking about the heathen Gentiles. It's talking about the Hebrew Israelites that fell out of their way of life, that didn't know that they were Jews or Hebrew Israelites per se. So let's go to Joel 3, verse 7. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. So that's talking about he's gathering us up now. We now know who we are as Hebrew Israelites. The word is getting out. The word is even getting out through celebrities now. Kyrie Irving, Kanye West. You have various celebrities that are getting this word out. In the small hats, okay? Amalek, who's over there in Israel, that's not his land, that's our land. He's getting upset because he knows the truth is coming out in full force. And he's actually gathering us, okay, with this truth. We've awakened, we've like the valley of the dry bones in Ezekiel, we're getting our life force back. We've been brought back to life. We're no longer dead. Now, only 1/3 of us are going to be part of the elect. But in general, even the 2/3 that don't make it into the chariots, of course, they'll still be redeemed through the loins of the 1/3 that make it into the kingdom. They're also knowing that who we are. So this word is getting out. You got teachers everywhere. You got elders, apostles, prophets on the corners in the United States, Babylon, as well as all around the world. So where everything is coming back together slowly but surely. So let's go to Joel 3, verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. So this is the gathering of the armies. He's going to gather all these armies, together to prepare war, they're going to go against Yahushua in them chariots, and they're going to lose. Joel 3, verse 10. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. So this is the other nations gathering all their resources, gathering all their weapons, gathering all their missiles, etc., to try to come against the Most High. And the Most High, actually, Yahweh is actually gathering them up. He's the one really giving them the impetus to come into the valley of Jehoshaphat. He's the sole controller here. Joel 3, verse 11. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. So he's saying, come together, all you heathen. These are the other nations. Joel 3, verse 12. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Joel 3, verse 13. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Let's go to the translation comparison in the NLT for that. Let's see here. Swing the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come tread the grapes, for the winepress is full. Their storage vats are overflowing with the wickedness of these people. So that's really going to be, they're going to get trampled like wine, like a wine press. Be no match for Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai and those chariots. Joel 3, verse 14. Multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. So the day of the Lord is actually referring to, while all this is going on, you're also going to have Babylon, burning from the chariots as well as nuclear bombs. So a lot of things are going to be going on at one time. And if you're part of the elect, you'll be beamed up in the chariots and you'll be able to watch this destruction firsthand. So we say hope for elects. We hope that we're part of the elect. We hope we can, that we can watch, specifically watch Babylon get destroyed, and hopefully we can watch the other nations get destroyed. We don't exactly know the play-by-play, but we have an idea of the events that are going to happen. Let's go to Joel 3, verse 15. Okay, the sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. It's going to be so many nuclear bombs in the sky that they're going to cover the sun and they're going to cover the stars. It's going to be so much darkness and smoke and brimstone that the sky is going to be darkened, okay? Let's go to Joel 3, verse 16. And then I have maybe another precept. Joel 3, verse 16. The Lord also shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and the earth shall shake, but the Lord will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel. Okay, so it's like I said, it's going to be, everything's going to be shaken, all right, because you're going to have the nuclear bombs, you're going to have the chariots throwing down laser fire, so it's going to be a lot of chaos going on. And Babylon's going to be the main place, Babylon referring to America, it's going to be the main place set on fire, the lake of fire. It's going to be uninhabitable. And if you're there and you're not in the chariots, you're going to be destroyed, whether you're 2/3, whether you're the heathen nations, and that includes also Esau, as far as the heathen nations. But at the same time, you're going to have the valley of Jehoshaphat, where the other nations are going to try to gather themselves to go against Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, but actually Yahweh is doing the gathering, all right? Let's see here. Let's go to a precept, Isaiah 14. Now, after all this is, has commenced, after, Babylon is destroyed, after the nations are gathered in the valley of Jehoshaphat to be judged by Yahweh, those of us that are part of the elect, so I say hope for elect because I'm hoping part of the elect will actually be gathering who's ever left from the other nations around the world, okay? And they're actually going to be our servants. Let's go to Isaiah, as soon as I can find it here. One precept here. This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel, okay? And set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Let's go to the NLT for that. check it out. Get a little translation of that. This is Isaiah 14, verse 1, NLT. But the Lord will have mercy on the descendants of Jacob. He will choose Israel as his special people once again. So this is us being put back in our special place. This is us, the elect, getting our new bodies, being changed in the twinkling of an eye. He will bring them back to settle once again in their own land. So you're going to have the kingdom of heaven come down to Jerusalem. Okay, it's going to come down. It's going to be like the bride, getting back with the bridegroom. Okay, so we're going to be brought back to where we were. Let's read this again. Isaiah 14 and 1 NLT. But the Lord will have mercy on the descendants of Jacob. He will choose Israel as his special place once again. He will bring them back to settle once again in their land. And people from many different nations will come and join them there and unite with the people of Israel. All right. So all the nations are going to be under the 144,000 and the 1/3 multitude of the elect. Okay. Along with Yahushua and King David. All right. And all the other nations are going to be under our rulership. And they're going to have to learn the law, statutes, and the commandments. Now, the elect will already have the law written in their inward parts. So we're not going to sin. We're not going to go off. But we're going to have to teach the other nations during that 1,000-year reign with Yahushua how to be righteous. We're going to teach them the law, statutes, and commandments. It's going to take a while. It's going to take that 1,000 years to get everything back on track. And during that 1,000 years also, the 2/3 of us Hebrew Israelites that didn't make it, that were destroyed, okay, during the second death, they'll be brought back in the kingdom through the loins of the 1/3. So let's go back to Isaiah 14 and verse 2. We have 2 more verses and we'll be done here. We'll be wrapping it up. Isaiah 14 and 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. All right. So basically, they're gonna be the cleanup crew. All the other heathen nations are gonna clean up the mess. All right. And we're gonna possess them, and they're gonna be put in slavery. They're gonna be our servants and handmaids. They're gonna be our captives. Like they took us in captivity during the various captivities that we went through. As I stated in Joel, the 3rd chapter, verse 2, they're going to be our captives now. Everything's going to be reversed. Let's go to the last verse, Isaiah 14, verse 3. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. So basically, this is the elect of Yahweh Shem Yahushua being put in their place. You're going to live forever. You're going to have eternal life. You're going to have powers. All right. You're going to be refreshed and renewed. And you're going to be joined back again with Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So on that note, I hope this lesson was edifying. And I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Bashem Rakakadash. Shalom.